Welcome back to another episode of God Built This Podcast. I'm your host, Maxine, and we're on episode 184. I'm back. I'm feeling better. I just want to apologize for last episode. It was wiggity whack, but we're back. That is just a testament to how much I love podding and how much I love this podcast, but I should have taken that day off, another day off, because I was just off of drugs. That's really the explanation. I was just off of drugs. I was just off of recovering from whatever attacked me. Apparently, my lack of potassium explained all of the symptoms that I was experiencing. Like, what the fuck? Because I don't eat enough bananas? Mind you, I really like bananas. It's not like I don't like bananas and I just don't eat them and I hate bananas and fuck bananas. No, I eat potassium. Like, it's not something that I'm going to eat potassium today. Like, it's not a thing like that, but I guess it was enough for me to feel so bad. Like, but I wonder what triggered it, like when I tell you the migraine that I was experiencing back to back, y'all, and I was able to track how often it came in, because I'm like, okay, it's all day, but there are dull periods, and there are periods when it's not there are periods when it's really strong. So I noticed it will happen like 3 times a day, literally morning, evening, and I would say in the afternoon as well. And so prior to me deciding, okay, let me just go ahead and take Advil, I would just kind of track it out and try my best to just persevere naturally. And that shit wasn't working. At some point, you need something in your system, right? At some point, drug me down, okay? And when I would take my medicine, when I would take the Advil, I would take it. I took like 6 a day, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, because I took 2. You take 2 at a time, and then you break them apart by 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours, I believe. And that's what I was doing. It's not like I was just doing it because I love the high of, there's a fucking high from Advil. The migraine was killing me. And I don't get migraines. I'm not a migraine girl. I'm not, Little Miss Migraine. First of all, where is that coming from? All on Instagram lately, if you guys have been scrolling, you'll see there's this meme of this cartoon, of this like blue cartoon character. It's like one of those characters from like the Trolls, and it's just Little Miss Late for Everything, Little Miss Procrastinate, Little Miss See Everything Through. It's just like random descriptions of people, like everyone and anyone could relate. And I don't know who's the originator, because apparently you could, I know, like, I really don't get it. Like, you could just take an image. It's weird. You know how something's just suddenly so popping and trendy on Instagram that it's the instant thing that's reposted. So this is one of those things. Little Miss this, Little Miss that. Like, Russia, what's going on? Russia. So yes, I apologize. So yeah, I was coming off of that, right? I was going through the migraine situation, and I was going through chills, y'all. Like, I was shivering in 100-degree weather as Houston. Like, what? And I would shock my body purposely by going outside and expecting for it to regulate my body temperature. But as soon as I enter any ounce of AC, whether that's in my car or as soon as I enter, like, the lobby area when you go into a store, instantly my body will just start shivering, nipples hard as fuck. Sometimes as much as I love not wearing a bra, it gets frustrating sometimes not wearing a bra and always having hard nipples. Like, I don't, some people be like, oh, you have hard nipples because you're horny. I don't really see the correlation. I don't, it's not like I don't, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I want to have sex right now. My nipples are hard. Like, that's not a correlation. It's just my nipples are hard. Like, they're poking hard to the point where it's actually uncomfortable. Like, I'm feeling a little weird, you know? I don't, so it's just annoying. And so when I'm trying to be professional or just wear a damn t-shirt, you got these pounds poking. Like, I swear, I'm not trying to seduce anybody. I'm not trying to, manipulate you with my sexual seduction. I just have hard nipples. Maybe that's a condition. Maybe I should look into that. But anyway, so I was feeling super sick. And I'm like, okay, these Advils, maybe if I just get migraine medicine, like migraine, medicine that is specific for migraine. So I went to the store to get Excedrin, because that's the only migraine medicine that I'm familiar of that's over the counter. So I went to get that. And mind you, this whole time it's like, this lasted for 6 days until I finally decided to go to the hospital. But yeah, for those, I would say, when did I start taking the migraine medicine, the Excedrin? It was probably day 4. I was like, yeah, something's going on. And of course, I'm living alone. I take care of myself. So I have to be the one to go to the grocery store. I have to be the one to, get gas, get whatever I need to get, cook for myself, eat. And it's extremely difficult doing that when you're shivering at 100-degree temperature in Houston, Texas. Like, what's going on? So it took everything in me to finally get up and go to CVS to get Excedrin, just for it worked. But did it really? Like, I will still have to keep on taking the Excedrin medicine. It didn't stop it, right? It wasn't like, I don't know. I just feel like something was in the waters. Maybe it was because the day before I went on a stroll, and I think I said it in the last episode, unless I was still too drugged up to really say it. But I was on a stroll, and I was in the sun. But it's Houston, Texas. I'm naturally going to be in the sun. I don't know, something about that day. And I remember right after that, I went to Chipotle, and the line was super long. So maybe being in that long ass line in that overpopulated Chipotle did something to me. Speaking of Chipotle, I think I want some right now, actually. But all of that took over. Went to the ER because I was just super uneasy. My heart was palpitating super fast. I thought this was it. I really did. And I was like, look, if this is going to be it, at least let me leave a clean apartment. I ran the dishwasher because I had some dishes to wash, and I didn't want for it to be still sticky, I took out the trash because it was definitely at that point to take it out. And whenever I even smell a hint of trash, nasty trash smell, I like to put my dish detergent in the trash can so that I don't smell it. Upon return, I guess I was still hopeful, but I just didn't want, God forbid, you know, people walk into your home and it's just, damn, this is how she was living. So I did all of that. And I decided, okay, you know what? It was 2 a.m. that it was day 6 of me feeling ill. And I did say, okay, Monday morning, I'll just go to the hospital. I'll go first thing in the morning Monday. But I just couldn't. I couldn't wait anymore. I couldn't sleep comfortably. I was afraid of falling dead in my sleep. Like, I was really in my head and afraid and scared, and it's not the time, you know. I don't want to go out like this. I don't want to go out right now. Went to the hospital, did all these motherfucking tests. Gave me strep. They gave me a strep throat test. Is this 2002? No one has strep throat. Like, what? And he had to, like, the way I've never had strep throat before. Never had the test done before. I didn't know it was going to be as uncomfortable as it was. It was a brief test, but oh my goodness. So he basically put a swab and swabbed the back of my throat. I was so taken aback by how uncomfortable it was. It literally scratches your throat. So that took place. Of course, they took a COVID test. I had all these boogers in my nose. And apparently they need all that booger to help figure out. I don't know. That was so uncomfortable. I felt so embarrassed. Like, oh, damn, let me blow my nose first. But no, they needed that info. You know, of course they gotta poke you up. The way that my blood vessel is set up. The way my blood vessel is set up is that I guess my veins are too veiny or something's up with it. That it's difficult to find the vein or the vessel. So I'm over here getting poked down, not dig down, poked down. Come to find out, so they putting fluids in me, and then finally they were able to determine that, oh, I was basically deficient of potassium. Like, what the fuck? All of this because I don't have enough potassium. I'm having shivers. I'm having hot flashes, migraines, nausea, vomiting, shortness of breath because I have no potassium. All I needed was a banana. Like, what the fuck? A part of me is thinking, okay, is this really true? Or was there something else that took place and they just couldn't figure it out and they just decided, well, hey, out of all the tests that I took, this was the one that came out very deficient, so let's just chalk it up to potassium. I don't know. All I know is, man, fuck Biden. That's what I know. Fuck Biden, Pelosi, AOC. Shit. So during that time, I'm feeling, I guess I'm being more dramatic than what it calls for. And I'm saying this respectfully to myself because I think sometimes I give myself a hard time for being anxious. But just looking at it from the outside in, I think my reaction, in their opinion, was more dramatic than what it called for. They still treated me very respectfully, which I really appreciate. And they were accommodating and they were reassuring by letting me know, hey, look, the system says, you know, your breathing is fine, your heart is fine, because that was my main reason as to why I decided to go to the hospital, because my breath work was super short. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So them telling me that was their way of reassuring me, which I appreciate. Anyway, the doctor decided, he said, you know, has a doctor ever treated you for your anxiety? Have they ever prescribed you anything for it? I said no. So upon my exit, that was a prescription provided to me. So I'm like, okay, you know, anxiety pills. Let's see how this goes. Even though I'm on here talking about, oh, you know, bioweapon and go outside, just go in the nature, I still absolutely believe in that. But I wanted to try it out. I'm being very honest. You guys know how honest I am. I just wanted to try it out. So I picked it up because it was prescribed to me. And I'm like, okay, let's see what's gonna go down. I took one. Mind you, it says you could take up to 4 pills a day. And I'm so happy that I just took one and waited, right? Like I could have taken one and like, oh, I'll take the other one the next hour, right? Or I could break it up throughout the day. But being that I picked it up, I guess it was in the afternoon that day, and my intention was to take it before I went to bed to kind of calm me down even more. So that's why I decided to just take one. So I'm just happy I just only took one, because that one, mind you, is a small size, but I guess it's very jam-packed with whatever. The one that I took, y'all, it kicked in really the next day, like in full mode, in beast mode, really. But that moment when I took that one, probably like, I don't know, probably an hour, 30 minutes later, yeah, I was feeling kind of calm and sullen, but it, like, I guess I don't know, that's how I was feeling just for that moment, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready to go to sleep anyway. So I go ahead and get into my nighttime routine. Okay, the next day, you guys, my whole body sore. Just sore. Like I've been just thrown into a wall sore. Like heavy. I felt very heavy, and like, is this what the anxiety pill was to help? Like, is this is it? I was so disappointed. Like, what the fuck? I was finally recovered. Not recovered, but like I was finally recovering, at least, from those 6 days of the lack of potassium. And now I put myself in this position by taking one anxiety remedy pill, quote unquote, just for my body to feel sore again, just for my body to feel heavy and just not good. Like I couldn't concentrate if I wanted to. So I just think about, like, damn, think about all the people who are on these pills. How does, maybe that's just my body. Maybe it's my body reaction, right? Maybe it's just me. But I doubt it. I'm sure other people are feeling the same way too if they're taking it. I'm sure I'm not the only unique. I'm not the anomaly here. But yeah, that crap really, really turned me off. I didn't feel ill, thankfully. I just felt very heavy. And I felt very sleepy, which explained just my energy on the pod. I was still coming off of that. It was literally the day after. That's when I recorded. So I was coming off of that heavy feeling, that sore feeling, that full body sore feeling, just to record and still feel those feelings of soreness, heaviness, extreme fatigue. It was already getting late, but not even late. Like, late to me is different for some other people, right? Like, I need naps throughout the day. A nap or two. Not naps, but like a nap or two throughout the day. And then considering what I've already been through, this was even more of a impact negatively on my fatigue levels. Like, I was feeling even more tired, and this anxiety pill that one pill that I took definitely did not help. Ugh, I'm so mad at it. Whatever. Look, it was an experience. I will never take it again. I'll just stick with the trees outside and walking through them and smelling grass and smelling outside, because wow. Look what happened when curiosity kills a cat, huh? I just wanted to try it out. I wanted to try it out. And I figured, why not take it right before I go to bed? Yeah, so 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Another thing I would not recommend is the movie Nope. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. It's gonna be a no for me, dog, for that movie. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. I think Jordan Peele is purposely creating movies that leave us confused and leave us going into our phones, researching to better understand what the fuck we just watched. Because this is the same thing that happened to me when I watched Us. Us was just a mind fuck, right? Like, can we just have a regular, like, psychological thriller? Like, why does it have to be this weird shit? Like, I remember Us, so many theories about it that I read. Oh, it's called Us because it stands for the United States, and it speaks to the division in our moralities, and we have our tethered version and we have our good version, right? And what the fuck, Jordan Peele, what are you talking about? And I think these, like, movies, it's like, are you trying to make me feel dumb for not, because I feel like, oh, I'm supposed to just immediately get it, and if you don't immediately get it, then you're dumb. I don't know. So anyway, the movie Nope came out recently, and it is featuring Keke Palmer, who was obviously gay in the movie. Oh my goodness. We get it. Keke is playing a gay character. Keke is a lesbian. Keke is a dyke in this movie. We get, okay, got it. Oh my gosh. Like, can we just live in a world where you don't have to be obviously what you are, right? There was one scene in which she's with her brother, Daniel Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya is playing her brother, and Daniel is the one, you guys know him from Get Out. Get Out was the only Jordan Peele movie that I really, really enjoyed out of all the ones so far. But anyway, so Daniel Kaluuya is playing her brother in this movie. And they're at like a Best Buy store, and they're shopping around. She's pushing the cart, and her demeanor already in the movie so far is very, very much of a younger sibling. Kind of selfish, a bit immature, absent-minded, you know, the typical characteristics of a younger sibling. I can relate, I guess, but you know, so I noticed that in her I noticed that in her character. Excuse me. So okay, cool. So they're at this Best Buy shop, and well, okay, even prior to that though, I'm gonna paint it up. And spoiler alert. I said 0 out of 10, so don't even watch it. So this is me giving you what you need to know, because I'm hell, you know, teach one, each one. Each one, reach run. You know what I'm saying? Well, look, I'm going to share information so that you don't have to endure what I endured. Anyway, so throughout the movie, she's dressed in a way that is just obviously gay. And what is gay? Shut up. You know what we're talking about, right? Like, she's like tomboyish. She's like wearing these tops that are kind of like a box cut. And what I mean by that is there's certain, maybe it's a woman thing for me to recognize these details, but basically she's wearing these shirts that are like t-shirts that are like big bulky shirts, but they're shaped in a way that squares out her waist. Instead of making it look like an hourglass, it squares it out. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? But it's a look that it's a certain aesthetic that lesbian women, particularly lesbian women who are male presenting, right? So the ones who typically play the male role in a lesbian relationship, they would wear what she's wearing in this movie. So it was immediately obvious to me, oh, she's gay. Got it. So anyway, they're at this Best Buy, and she is pushing the cart, wearing her gay ass outfit, and she's with her brother. And there's this woman that passes by, and we didn't really see the woman. Like, it's not like the woman was like flaunting something, but it was a woman nonetheless. And Keke Palmer, her character that she's playing anyway, she's saying, oh, you pretty, how you doing? Oh, you cute, how you doing? Right? So she's doing that to this woman, this random woman that passes by, and it was just a quick moment. It wasn't an exchange of a conversation. It wasn't like they, you know, had a scene afterwards. They ran into the restroom and fucked each other. Like, it wasn't anything like that. It was just a random moment that painted this picture of this lesbian character being this sexually forward, sexually aggressive type of person. And I mean, we get it, right? Like, and prior to that, I don't know even if it was, well, throughout the movie, we see obvious signs of, we get it, she's gay. So there was one of the other scenes in which she is showing that she kind of runs through women like that. And that is a typical stereotype amongst lesbian women, again, particularly those who are male presenting. And so there's this other scene where Kiki is talking about how she was talking to her therapist about X, Y, and Z, whatever, right? And her brother, Daniel Kaluuya, who's playing her brother, he says, "Oh, you have a therapist?" And she's like, "Oh, I mess with them, here and there." No, she said, what she said? She was just saying how, she was basically saying the girl that she's seeing is a therapist. It wasn't like she was purposely, like it wasn't like she was professionally seeing a therapist. It just so happens to be a girl that she's fucking, a girl that she has a situationship with is a therapist. There's another moment in which she talks about, she needs a ride because she has, basically a pretty young thing waiting for her back in the city. And it was just like all of these like random moments pushed into the movie that showed, oh, Keke Palmer's character is gay. In case you didn't realize, she's gay. And how do we know she's gay? Her promiscuity, her sexual forwardness. Like, that's how we know she's gay. It just became a moment where, like, okay. I mean, are you gonna take out your clip right now and flick it? Are you gonna take out your clip right now and flick it? Like, it was so in our face. I don't know. It was just too much. It was a little too much. Anyway, this movie was a nope. It was a no for me, dog. Of course, afterwards, I'm left with a strong curiosity to understand what the fuck that I just watched, right? I just spent almost 2 hours watching a movie in which I just I didn't understand the correlation. So the movie starts off with a sequence of this chimpanzee bludgeoning a human family on set of a TV show. And it looks like our perspective of it, we're seeing the chimp as this murderer. Like, oh my gosh, we're afraid of this chimp, and this chimp is purposely murdering and going out of its way to kill people, right? Like this chimp just snapped, and it just killed the whole family. Oh my gosh. So, okay, the movie starts off with that. And then now we're introduced to this black ranch family. And by ranch, I mean this family that owns a ranch. They own their ranch, and it's a ranch full of horses. And with these horses, they will sell some of them for particular roles in Hollywood, and they will get a deal from that. Or they will rent out their horse. However they did their business, they use their horse to help capitalize and mark a name for themselves in Hollywood. So we see an introduction to this black ranch family. The patriarch, he is riding the horse, and all of a sudden he falls off of the horse. There's something in the clouds, and suddenly the patriarch just falls off the horse and dies. So now we're left with Daniel Kaluuya taking the reins and taking after his father after, his father strangely passes away. Okay. But what the fuck did that have to do with the chimp, though? Right? Like, we're getting in, like, what was the point of the chimp being introduced to us in the beginning of the movie, and the chimp story being reminded to us throughout the movie? Like, what was the reason? So anyway, we see that this family, They notice something in the cloud. They notice a particular cloud is not actually a cloud, it's not moving, and they're believing it to be an alien spaceship. And of course, human beings being human beings, we're trying to figure out, how can I capitalize off of this? How can I get the best shot of this and sell it, go viral, and, make some coins? So Keke Palmer is the one who brings that bright idea up, quote unquote, bright idea. And they create this like surveillance system to best capture this alien spaceship. The alien spaceship ends up becoming this like floaty device at the end of the movie, and it's not really scary actually. And what I think I would have, if I was Jordan Peele, right? I think I would have just turned the movie in a different direction, right? I think them being black ranchers, being this black family that owns a ranch, I think that's already something to explore. And when they were in Hollywood, when they showed that scene of them in Hollywood, it seemed like they weren't getting enough respect and they were treated as like the help. And I think it would have been nice to see Jordan Peele explore that, like just the horrors of being a black ranch family in Hollywood, trying to determine your respect and your place in this society and dealing with the horrors of that. Like already that's horrific. So that would have been cool. But anyway, that wasn't the plot. So anyway, that's it. That was the fucking movie, okay? Throughout the movie, Keke Palmer's character was talking about, oh, we need to get the Oprah shot. The Oprah shot. And upon my research, I learned why she kept repeating that. And I learned why that chimp story was a part of the plot. So let's get into that. The real life connection here is there was a moment in real life history, in 2009, when a chimpanzee, his name is Travis, he attacked his human family whom adopted him in 2009, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of lines from this, and then we're going to correlate this to what the fuck we just watched. Well, what I just watched. So Travis the chimpanzee was adopted at the age of 3 by a young Connecticut couple who happily paid $50,000 for the animal in 1998. Now, already, we're like, what is going on? First of all, this should have been illegal. I think this movie also spoke to the poor decision making in bringing in predatory animals into the everyday lives of human beings and trying to disguise them as pets. A chimpanzee is not a pet. So going back to the movie Nope, this chimp that we saw throughout the movie, the chimp was basically a cast member of a TV show. And that right there should have been enough of a red flag. Like, why are you hiring a chimp? Why is there a chimp on the set of a show right now? Like, what? So the chimp is on the show, like, has a paid cast member. Like, hey, man, hey, Johnny, I'm going to take a number 2. I'll be right out. Oh, let me go over my lines real quick. Like, a chimp is really out there. And that's the problem with white people. Like, why are you guys thinking it's okay to purchase a predatory animal as your pet? Ugh. And why was this even allowed? So that's already that. So Travis lived with the couple until 2009, when officers responded to a frantic 911 call saying that a monkey was attacking a woman. So Carla Nash received a phone call from her friend Sandra Harold. Sandra asked her to come and help her corral her son of 14. See, now they're really taking this pet thing, this chimp pet thing, as as a way to call this I'm just so taken aback. They called this predatory animal their son. So he's called the son. He's 14 years old at this point, and his name is Travis. Okay. Travis weighed more than 200 pounds by 14 and was in an odd mood that day. Oh, so you say? So him just being a predatory animal is not odd enough. He just happened to have woke up from the wrong side of the bed. Harold would later admit that she'd slipped him some Xanax. What? To help him calm down, but that he still seemed agitated. Travis had been diagnosed with Lyme disease, which can have neurological consequences. That's something that I'm learning about lately, actually, which is interesting. The chimpanzee was beloved by the community. He also knew Nash well, so neither of the women was especially concerned or wary of a freak reaction from the chimp. But then Travis charged at Nash when he saw her holding a favorite toy of his and began to rip her skin off. He ripped off her nose, lips, eyes, hands, and the skin from her face. Like, what the fuck? While Harold called 911, she also hit Travis with a shovel in the head and tried to stop the attack with the butcher knife from her kitchen. When Travis turned to look in her direction, Harold ran and locked herself in her car. Police arrived quickly and, according to an account given to the New York Times, saw Travis jumping up and down in a frenzy. They then reported that the chimp ran around the first officer's car, opening the driver's side door. That's when Officer Frank Schiaffari, the first to the scene, started to shoot. Yeah, fucking kill that motherfucker. It took 4 shots before the animal reacted to the gunshots and finally went back into his living quarters, where he eventually died. Yeah, die, motherfucker. No, all of this is horrible, though. All of this is horrible. Look, I am not in favor of animal brutality. I'm not. I know I came on here a couple episodes ago talking about, it's either, who you siding with if you're a human. You siding with humanity or you siding with animals? Like, which one? So that's the ideal response. But I think ultimately the humans are to blame. Why are you bringing a chimpanzee into your home as a pet? People think it's so cute because, I adopted the chimp when he was 6 months. And so it's a cute little small little thing, but hello, they grow and they become their full predatory self. And then what we have here, a whole 200-pound predatory animal living amongst me? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So I blame this Connecticut couple. I blame them for thinking this was a good idea. I blame the institution where they got the chimp from, thinking that it was fine to let this predatory animal, be with a couple as a domesticated pet. Like, there should be some laws set in place. There should be something established to ensure that this does not happen. I'm hearing, though, that in other areas, and mind you, this took place in Connecticut, dog. Like, Connecticut. I thought this would be something that only takes place in, Hollywood and, just somewhere in California. But no, in elite ass Connecticut, you have a chimpanzee as a pet? Okay. So the correlation with this story to the movie Nope is that it's, first of all, it's referencing this tragedy without necessarily saying it in complete detail, but it's making it very clear that this is a tragedy that took place many years ago, and this is what happens when you take a predatory animal into your home as a domesticated pet or try to domesticate it. There's a scene in the movie of a woman who is at this rodeo and she's wearing a hat, and the hat has a veil on it, and we see at an instant when the wind is blowing, when it's blowing really fast, we see a glimpse into this woman's face, and her face is mauled off. Like, there's barely any skin. She has no lips. It looks very terrifying. And this actually is in reference to an Oprah interview of the woman who was mauled and attacked by her chimpanzee pet. And so it says here, Nash would later appear on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2009 wearing a veiled hat covering her disfigured facial features, similar to the manner of the woman that I was just describing from Nope, the movie. Okay. I just feel like at this point, I white people just gonna be white people, right? White people are just going to be white people, and maybe this is just the karma of their whiteness. Maybe this is just their audacity being handed to them, right? Like, it's very audacious of you to think and believe that it's okay to take a predatory animal and take it as your own. And honestly, me saying pet is being generous. They treated this animal as their child. As their child. They described this child. They described this animal as their son, as their 14-year-old son, as if they adopted a human child and now it's their own. I just cannot. I cannot. So it's gonna be a no for me, dog. 0 out of 10 for this movie. After all of that, I was asking around, on the internet streets, what is still why was this still included in the movie plot overall? What I gathered is that there was a moment when Gordy, the chimp, that was his name in the movie, after he attacked everyone and killed them off, there was this little Asian kid. He hid under a table that was covered with a tablecloth. And Gordy notices him under the table, but decides to spare his life. And instead of mauling him and attacking him, he gives him a fist pump. And they're trying to say the little Asian kid, because they didn't make direct eye contact, like the eye contact was obstructed due to the tablecloth in between them, that helped, or that essentially spared his life. That's the theory that I'm reading. And so the correlation with that to the alien invasion investigation that Keke Palmer's character and Daniel Kaluuya's character was trying to capture is, whenever the spaceship would land or hover lower, the goal to not get sucked up is to not look up, to not look into the eyes of the predator. And that's what they did. They did not look up. They did not look into the eyes of the predator. And that's what that little boy did at that time with Gordy. I still don't get it, though. I still don't get it. So they were just saying that's the connection, but like, still, what was the point? Why couldn't this movie just be about either or, right? Either it's about Gordy attacking this human family and being the predatory animal that it is, right? Being that of a chimp. Or the movie could have just solely been about it could have just been about alien invasion and finding a way to survive that and the horrors of the alien species. You know, like 0 out of 10. I'm utterly disappointed. Even the trailer wasn't really that enticing. It was just something to watch. Like, okay, well, let me just check it out. Whatever. So, whatever. It is what it is. It was a moment, and it was a conversation. How about let's talk about why I feel like people who hoard information are scum of the earth. I'm in a mood, huh? I'm in a big mood. Okay. As you guys know, or kind of know, I don't know, I haven't really been talking about it directly here on this platform because on one hand, I don't like to talk about the things that I'm going through as I'm going through it. Like, I like to already be on the other side and then talk about it as a testimony, right? And what I'm speaking of is the fact that I have ended my career as a teacher and decided not to return to the classroom. But, though I'm happy with that decision and I'm ready to move forward and, onto new things and new experiences and new opportunities, all these great things and all of that, it's been a journey and it's been a journey, okay? I've read different posts of this is hashtag of what's it called, transitioning teachers, which is like not it's not what you may think. It's not like transgender, it's not like that, right? It's an interesting hashtag. I just realized I was like, not that. I'm not transitioning genders, nothing like that. I'm not fucking telling you pronouns, all that bullshit. I am who I am, right? And I am how I look, right? I'm a black woman. But no, there's a hashtag called transitioning teachers. And in this hashtag, you see just a whole community of former teachers who are deciding and have decided and are sharing their stories of leaving the classroom and moving on to different roles, and just the emotional roller coaster that is, right? You know, when you've been in a position or in a field for ever, right? This is the only career that you know, and you're embarking on a new journey, and it's just the journey of the unknown. It's terrifying, to say the least, right? It's exciting, it's exhilarating, it's all these other emotions as well, but amongst those emotions, you feel terrified because what the fuck is going on, right? Like, what's going on next, right? And people say a lot, you know, from my research as well, and I do believe, of course, there are so many skills that I encompass that are transferable, right? I'm not only specifically designed to only be a teacher or whatever. But the point is, I think with this community, it's been easier for me to find inspiration and advice from complete strangers online. Complete strangers who I don't even fucking know, who may be a Russian bot, to be honest, right? People who I've never met a day in my life. Their zip code may not even be within my next 15, 20 mile radius. Yet I found more inspiration, more help, whether they even realize it or not. And mind you, it's not even through like direct conversation. It's just them being open and honest and transparent about their journey from transitioning from the classroom as a teacher. And the reason why I say I think hoarders of information are scum of the earth, like right next to scammers, is I know people in my life personally. I know two teachers, well, former teachers or detransition teachers, who decided to leave the classroom, and they're in a completely different field. And I worked with these teachers, right? Like we were co-workers, bitch. Like I worked with you for some time. And when I reach out to said person, just wanting to know, hey, how'd you do it? Right? Hey, just kind of figuring out my next steps. And since you've reached a point in your destination, I want to just understand how, because I'm kind of struggling over here and I would like some information. Instead of being a good Samaritan, right? You know, one, because we kind of know each other, right? Hey, we were coworkers for some time. Instead of responding to my fucking message, you don't. And I'm specifically talking about this bitch. I'm gonna No, but dead ass. I'm talking about somebody in particular, and I'm feeling some type of way because she saw my message. On Instagram, or just with anything. Actually, this is the second person, because the first person, when I reached out to him, this was like months ago. This was before I even made my decision. You know, this was this was because he left. The first person I'm talking about, he left during the height of COVID. And I'm not even sure exactly if he's still in the field of education, but he left nonetheless. And I was inspired, like, damn, that's dope, like he finally left, and that's something I've been wanting to do. I've been meaning to leave the classroom, but every time I try to leave, something's keep pulling me back. I'm experiencing those feelings, and I'm punking out basically every time I try to leave. And seeing that he left, I wanted to see, hey, how'd you do it? How did you fucking do it? Because I'm crippling over here. So when I messaged him at that time, this was via text message, via iMessage. And he received my message. It said delivered. And he actually responded by saying, he was like letting me know, hey, I just want to let you know I did receive your message, and I'm gonna get to responding to it in a moment. He said something about he wanted to make sure his response was like good enough or well articulated. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? What? Nigga, just tell me about your life right now. Tell me specifically, how did you get to where you are right now? Because it wasn't like I hit him up a day after he left the job. It was months later. So, hey, in these months later, I'm assuming that, you may be in a whole new headspace, in a whole new field, in a whole new position, and whatever it is. Or even if you just decided to go to a whole new school, right? I didn't know that. But I was under the impression, I think he actually left the whole field altogether. So I was under that impression. So that is why I reached out to him, hoping to receive some level of information. And so after he texted me the whole, hey, I got your message, I'm going to text you later with a better response. He never did. And I never heard from that nigga again. And you go online, you try to gather information like, oh, this is the life that this person may be living, or this is the job that this person may be working. It was hard for me to gather that with his Instagram because all I see is him and his girlfriend and him looking happy and whatever. It was like, okay, that's great and all, but what do you do for work? What do you do for a living? That's what I want to know. What are you doing for that right now? Damn. So that was one example, right? Just the other motherfucking day. I think it was just yesterday from the time of this recording. Just yesterday, I reached out to this other person who I was a coworker of. And she been left the field of teaching, and she actually posted something on Instagram, and I'm not gonna be too specific in case whoever's listening, but basically she posted something very celebratory on Instagram, and I liked it. And I read the caption. In the caption, she specifically said, and I already knew she left teaching. I already heard that she was already working at some nonprofit organization. I don't know, some shit, right? And it's not about where she's working. It was about the fact that you left the field of education, you left teaching, and now you're doing something new. That is where I want to that's where I want to gain information of. That's where I want to feel this level of inspiration, because you are doing what I'm trying to do. So in this caption, she says, what she says? She says, basically she left teaching back in blah, blah, blah. And she's embarking on this new journey. Yada, yada, yada. Cool. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is a great segue for me to reach out to her and ask her about, how does she get to where she is? I don't really care about her. Well, that particular post in particular, I'm not going to say it to make it too specific because I don't know who's listening. But basically, that was my segue of asking her, hey, I know that you left teaching, right? I already knew that, but this post that you wrote a caption of confirmed it even more. So I know that you left teaching, and I am in this phase right now where I left teaching as well. I left teaching and I'm trying to figure out my next steps. And I've just been in this journey of applying to different positions and in new fields and yada, yada, yada. And I just ended the message basically asking, could you share with me what field you're working in now and how did you get your foot in? Like, you would think that I always like to be careful of my line of questioning sometimes because I don't like to come across invasive. I don't want to be all up in your business. Like, it's not like I asked her, hey, could you share your bank account routing information? Do you mind sharing that with me? So I could just see where you are right now in comparison to where you were. Like, what? No, I would never. I don't even like asking people, what do you pay for rent? Huh? That's so weird. I remember when I had a former colleague come over and he was already nosy. I shouldn't have even invited him over. I regret a lot of things with that friendship. But he was looking around. Mind you, I live in a studio apartment. Like, it's not, I have great views and all, but like, you looking, like, the way he was looking was just very nosy and just, weird. Anyway, he's like, oh, so how much you pay for rent? How much you pay for rent? And he said it in a way that was obviously invasive, right? That, like, there was no slick way for him to say it that was comfortable for me to share. Like, it was just very, like, just in your face. Like, okay. All right. Anyway, so she never fucking responded to me. Like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I just hate shit. Like, I really, and mind you, she saw it. With Instagram, it tells you if someone read your message. And it says, seen. And it tells you when she saw it. And I noticed, like, I was just kind of being angsty. So right after I sent her that message, I checked, like, probably an hour later. And it said seen 1 hour ago. So she saw it as soon as I sent it to her. And it's one thing, sometimes when you look at a message and you look at it, but you get distracted, right? Maybe you just haven't gotten around to responding because you want to make sure your response is strong enough, whatever it is, but you saw it well enough of a time that I should have received a response from you by now. I should have. At the moment of this recording, right at this very moment right now, I still have yet to receive a response from her. And it says seen 19 hours ago. At this point, go to hell. And that's a shout out. I just really hate people like that. Like, I hate people who are hoarders of information. I hate people who just like are very secretive with how they got to where they are. In particular, it's one thing to like, you don't have to tell me information that's invasive. Like, I'm never gonna ask you about your bank routing information, your bank account number, your mortgage rate. Like, I don't even care about that. All I like to receive is information regarding how did you get here, right? Like, as someone who's trying to get to where it seems like where you are, right? You left the field of teaching. That's where I'm at, right? And now you're in a new field of work. That's where I'm trying to be. So how did you get there, right? Because me applying left and right, it's not getting me there. So how did you get there, right? And it's one thing to know someone that knows someone, and that's, hey, that could have just been very well your journey. But share that, right? Like, hey, I just happen to have an uncle who is the CEO of, okay, sure, then damn, fuck, I guess I don't know enough people, right? I don't know, it just sucks. I feel like sometimes with me, I always get to where I need to go, but it seems like it's at a added hurdle, right? Like, there's no one, I don't have anyone holding my hand. I don't have anyone guiding me through it. I find my own guidance. I figure it out myself. I never experience anyone helping me. No one fucking helps me. Maybe I'm like crying out right now, but like, dead ass, like, it's never on some, oh, Maxine, I've been through what you've been through. Here's what I've done, and, take what you can from it and, apply it accordingly, right? I can't, maybe I'm having amnesia right now, but I really can't recall a time when it's been like that. It's always been me finding the answers myself, being the solution-oriented person that I am myself, and going forward with that information, right? Or it's been me, like, the guidance or the information that I'm able to gather is from people who I don't know, who's online, who decided to share their information, right? And they do it, I guess, it's with an incentive, right? They have enough views on YouTube, so those views add up and it helps make them make money. The amount of reposts on a LinkedIn post could also aid them in making money as well. But other than that, like, I don't have anyone directly in my life whom I've had a relationship with, whether, platonic, professional, familial, whatever it is. It's never on some, hey, Maxine, let me hold your hand for. No one's fucking holding my hand, dog. And I'm kind of in my feelings right now, and I get how it's coming off. Ooh, sorry, but it's pissing me. It really pisses me off, and I pride. You know what I pride myself on? I pride myself on not just knowing things, but sharing information with people who need to know the things that I know and who may not know that information, right? Like, and it goes into any and everything. I remember when I was a teacher, when I was working in that role, just a couple of months ago, I would help any and everyone with whatever they needed help with, because oftentimes I knew the answer to it. I was very tech savvy, and many of my colleagues were not familiar with the platforms that were being pushed for them to use. And I just so happened to be more comfortable with that platform. And so I'm sharing the information. I'm sharing the answers, right? I'm literally providing tutorials and steps for them to find the answer, for them to have the answer to their problems. And I was the one who, ask Maxine. Oh, Maxine would know. Maxine would know. And I'm saying that humbly. Because I actually enjoy knowing that, hey, I have information that could help you with whatever problem you're dealing with right now. So therefore, I'm going to share that information and be of assistance to you. That brings me joy, knowing that I helped you. I fucking helped you, dog. Who's helping me? Hello? Is my mic on? Who's helping me? Who the fuck is out there being like, oh, I have information for Maxine. Let me share this information so that she can take it and, and apply it where necessary. Who's helping me? And then when I am, not as I don't know, it's just weird, dog. Like, it's so weird. Like, I'm experiencing that a lot. And I'm noticing that a lot. Like, wow, people are just very hoarders when it comes, very, very much of a hoarder when it comes to information. And it hurts even more when I'm vulnerable and I reach out to you first, right? And I ask you, hey, and I share with you what I'm going through right now. And then I ask you for advice. Like, I'm not asking you for fucking money. I'm not asking you for, shelter. I'm not asking, you know what I mean? I'm asking you, how did you get here? How the fuck did you get here, bitch? Talking about scene 19 hours ago. So answer my question, ho. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so hoarders of information are scum of the earth. They're right next to scammers. And it is so. It is so. I'm just very sorry. That is the thing I just hate the most about people. Like, very scary, like very secretive and like scary if I share too much. Like, what's the scarcity ass mindset you got? If you tell me your information, I'm going to take it away from you. I'm going to take away the position that you're in now. Ooh, shut the fuck up. Anyway, let's talk about Married at First Sight. Okay. I don't even understand what we're doing. I really don't. I don't. Alexis and Justin, are we playing a game right now? Like, are we really watching this season of this 7-foot giant talk about his dick getting hard every 2 minutes? And we're taking this seriously? Is this really what's on my TV screen right now? Is this really okay? You have him every 2 minutes talking about he's been celibate for the past year and a half, and he's been celibate because women look at him like he's a pack of meat. No, they don't. No, they don't. I'm sure there's a natural curiosity because, wow, here's this giant. I wonder if his dick is as giant as he. Of course. But other than that, no one's looking at you like your phone is dry. And I'm saying this respectfully. But just calm down. Calm down with it, So he's looking like a damn lesbian. Like, what are we talking? Like, are we really what is this? What am I watching right now? He's looking like a lesbian. You have two women together. Alexis didn't sign up for that. This is not the maths for that. Damn. watching this every scene of them, I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? No, what are we doing? Hello, what are we doing? Hi, what are we doing? Gosh, I'm so annoyed with this season. Not even just them in particular. And then Alexis, I see you. Alexis, I see you. Alexis, I see you. She's playing the game. She knows how to get along with the go along or go along with the get along. She knows how to do that. That bitch is not attracted to him. Like, can we cut it out? But they kissing a lot? Cause he's there. You ever kiss someone just because they're there? Do you ever kiss someone just because they're there? That is a normal, like, that is a thing to do. Well, hey, I'm married to you. We might as well. That is a thing. Nigga, like, women do that. I've done that. You kiss someone just because they're there. They're in your face. I guess we're married. I guess we're just gonna have to do this thing. Right? Every time she kisses him, she's like laughing. She's not really like emotional as far as like, I really like him. Like, he makes my heart jump, and oh my goodness, I never felt this connection before. Like, we don't hear that from her. She's just like, well, he's still celibate, mama. Okay. What are we talking about? No, what are we talking about right now? My goodness, every second his dick is getting hard every second. Okay, so have sex then. Have sex and see how it goes. Have sex. Child. So yeah, I'm over them and Justin's dick getting hard every second. I'm over Alexis acting like she's really into him. Like, please get the fuck out of my face. Okay, Stasia and Nate. If I see one more time of that, I'm so light-skinned, I don't fit in scene, I'm going to unplug my TV. Hello? Is my mic? If I see another one of those, I'm too light-skinned, am I white or am I black scene, I'm gonna go off. I don't care about your tragic mulatto story. I don't care. I don't care that, oh, I meet the beauty standard every time. Every community I'm in, I meet the beauty standard because I'm so light-skinned. Oh, woe is me. Shut the fuck up. This is coming from a dark-skinned girl. Please shut the fuck up. Oh, I'm so light-skinned. I'm too beautiful. I don't know what to do. With myself. Shut up. I just can't stand the light-skin drama. I didn't know if I was black or white. Shut up. You're white. If you have to choose, you're white. Okay, you're black. Okay, now you're white. Oh, see what I just did there? You could fit any narrative. Because of your light skin, you could fit any it's like a game. It's like a jump rope. Like, ooh, I could jump in, I could jump out, I could jump in, I could be black, I could be white, it's black, it's white. Like, that's it. Ooh. Wow. That's the privilege you have. Shut the fuck up. That's the privilege you have. You could be black one day, right? Or you could be white. You could pass. Me being the dark-skinned black woman that I am, I'm black today, tomorrow, 4 p.m., 9 p.m., 12 in the at noon, I'm black. Cut it out. Okay, let's talk about Ready to Love. It's back. It's black. I'm happy. No, I'm ready. Okay. We're gonna wrap up with this. I'm ready to tear down Charisse. And I'm ready for her to be teared down. She is a mean girl. She's nasty. She's incredibly insecure, which is really the root of it all, which explains her mean girl behavior and her catty ways. She has to stick up her ass, and she thinks she's all that because she's a light skin. I don't know if I'm white or I'm black. So that's that. Justice. Okay, so first of all, I didn't know if his name was Justice. I had to rewatch the episode, because after watching some reviews of it, I'm like, who is this Justice guy that they keep on talking about? So he goes by Justice, but his name is Jawah, something like that. He has beautiful eyes. I think that's what it is. And this one guy, I was watching his review, or this couple, I was watching their review of this episode of the premiere of Ready to Love, and the guy in the couple, he was like how he doesn't understand why everyone's flocking to Justice, and he would sound like a hater. He was definitely a hater. But I understand. I think with him, I think he has, not only is he handsome, but he has a very attractive personality. Like, he has a way, just from episode 1, he has a way of making you feel comfortable. He has a way of just attracting people. Like, he's a light. He really is. And he knows how to have a conversation. He knows how to be serious, and he knows when to joke and be lighthearted. So I think he's going to go far with the ladies. I think he's already starting off strong, and it seems to be positive. Like, I think just because many of the women are flocking to him doesn't mean that he's like a player. I don't think he's like that, so far at least. So we'll see how his behavior is throughout the season, and I hope he lasts long. But I don't know yet. I don't know who I want to match him up with. I want to see more of his personality to see who may be the best match for him. Some of these women, though, one woman, she's 33. I look at her, I'm like, she looks like she's 43. Like, I don't know. I guess some things just age women more than it would in comparison to a woman like me who hasn't, bear children yet. I just look, I don't know, we just look different. Like, I'm looking at this woman, I forgot her name, Jamala, her. My goodness, she's 33. I'm 31. I feel like we look completely years apart, like so many years apart. But yeah, I'm excited for the season. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be it's in Miami, so that's interesting. I am just looking forward to it. I like the fact that it's been a little bit more time in between last season to this one, because prior to that, the 2 seasons were back to back. So I'm hoping with the delay in this season premiering, it could mean that this season will be one for the books, one of great quality, and just great entertainment, great content overall. So I'm excited. My show is back, Ready to Love. I'm so happy to continue to watch that. It's a theme song every time for me. So, and of course, Married at First Sight, even though Justin is playing, like, they're playing our faces with this one. But hey, I'm tuned in. The preview to what the season's gonna entail. Seems very, very entertaining and very interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay? All right, you guys. I gave you guys a good one this time, okay? A good hour, almost 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes at this point by the time I end this speech of what I'm about to say. But I am so happy to just feel better. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that I experienced that one anxiety pill and realized, yeah, that shit's not for me. I'm just gonna go in the park. I'm just gonna go in the park and deal with that. And I feel like I'm just not gonna go to the hospital anymore. It's like, let me not say that. Hospitals is essential and yada yada yada. But there's this other thing that I need to go back for, which is like due to it's about like my urine, stuff like that. I don't want to get into it, but I just feel like I don't want to. Like, I don't want to keep on going. I don't want to keep on going back and forth. We're going to take another test. I've done this before as far as test taking, and it was totally for a different thing. It wasn't for the urine, but it leads me to nothing. Right? Like, nothing is done after that. It's just, oh, well, here's a result, and that's it. Okay, bye. Okay, so what can I do to circumvent this? What can I do to, nothing is said about that. And that's what pisses me off about the hospital. It's just a waste of fucking time. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go back. There's this other test I'm supposed to take after I finish this prescription. So I finish a prescription. I'm supposed to take a test. I'm supposed to call them, let them know, hey, I finished a prescription. Let me take this test. So they could, like, test out other reasons why my bladder may be overactive. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'm just going to look into other things. It's just a waste of time. You know what I really hate the most is whenever you're even a new patient at a hospital, you have to fill out this 30-page book review to even get let in. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You're wasting my time right now. So there's that. And I am just, yeah, I'm just tired of it. So we'll see. I don't know. Should I just go? I don't think I'm gonna go. And then now that, I don't think I'm gonna go. I think I'll figure it out. I'll probably just take some, I don't know. I already finished my prescription, so I should be fine. I'm just gonna look into other ways to get through this overactive bladder situation. I don't know. It's just been a part of my life for a while now that what the fuck are you gonna do? Right? And then you sit with the doctor. They're asking questions that they don't know the answer to themselves. Right? So how long I don't fucking know. How long have I been, if I say a couple of months, it's a couple of months. I don't know. Right? Like, I don't. Okay, let me end this episode here, you guys. If you enjoyed at any point in this episode, you laughed, you kikied, you was challenged mentally, right? At any point you had a reaction, I encourage you to go ahead and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. Leave a positive review. Give me 5 stars. I appreciate it all. So I'm thanking you in advance. And be sure to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this podcast on a social media platform that you may be on. Or just, tell a friend. Share a link and be like, hey, check out Maxine's podcast. Check out God Built This podcast. Or she was so funny right at this point. Check it out. Or she talked about this topic and you may be interested in that. Check this episode out. So yes, please go ahead and share, leave a review, give me 5 stars, and I will check in with you guys next time. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of God Built This Podcast with your host, Maxine. Be sure to leave a review, give me 5 stars, and of course, subscribe. Also, follow God Built This Podcast on Instagram at God Built This Pod. God bless.